We're back.
Bitches. That was a joke.
We are back. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, we're back with Staying in My Lane podcast. Oh, God. Okay.
So,
I'm leaving that.
Lindsay and I were just talking about how many people listened to our last episode.
Lots.
It's a lot of people. So, there's like a lot of pressure right
You
now.
guys are nosy. I'm sorry. I just walked right into that, but that's fine.
It's fine.
I'm a little sweaty this time.
I know. There's a lot of pressure.
What did you guys think? We got a lot of feedback. Well,
Yeah, you got a lot of feedback.
That was a little much, but it was good. I got all positive feedback, so thank you for the ladies not reaching out to me who were disgust. No, in all reality, I think it was good to be honest and real about what we've went through.
Yeah, I agree.
And, calling people out for things that are long overdue.
Yep.
I guess,
And there's a lot more.
Oh, there's a lot more. Are you guys ready for part 2?
So we want to start just by talking about the mean girl thing again, because one person that reached out to me said how thankful she was that we addressed mean girl stuff, because she actually has a daughter in the middle school right now. And she's getting bullied, she's getting teased, and I guess it just never really goes away, depending on who you surround yourself with, I think.
Do you think that a lot of the mean girls, like in middle school, high school, elementary, learn it from their moms?
Probably, yeah.
It was just a thought.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
watching that.
do you think?
Yeah, there's some girls I can think about who we've talked about even like last time, not necessarily like who you ran around with, but like people who I ran around with that like I'm watching the mean girl bullshit as an adult, and those like young girls are watching it kind of how they watch their parents drink, and like they watch the partying, and then that's what they pick up on, and that's how they become kind of like the mean girl.
Yeah, they probably watch their moms and dads talk, like how they talk to other people.
How they talk to each other.
Right.
And then just like, because I know a couple situations where like some of the people that I can think of off the top of my head that I know from around this area have like gotten their kids hotel rooms and like alcohol, and they're like middle school age. And it's like, what are you teaching your child?
Right. That you're
then you're teaching your child to be mean too.
Yeah. And that you're the cool mom.
Cool mom.
Wanted to be a friend more than a mom.
Cool mom's going to get you to be a grandma at 16.
Oh, grandma.
Helen. Don't take my Helen name. You can take Thelma. That's fine. That sounds great.
Right. So part of like the mean girl energy that I was just so wrapped up in is that like we would do weekly dinners with the cops' wives. And I mean, we try to do it every week, but mostly we for sure would do it once a month. And there were like, first there were a lot of us at the beginning, maybe 8 of us.
Yeah.
And then the circle got smaller. But I remember specifically this one person, this one wife came in with another wife, and they sat down, and I think they like got up to leave first, and it was instant talking about her and talking about them. And I'm like, ugh, like this doesn't feel right,
Bad energy.
But then also like I sat right there with them, and that's and, like it sucks to even like admit that, you know. But when you're in a group like that, you're like, oh, well, it's okay that she's talking about her, and I like her, and I'm friends with her, so I'm just gonna add fuel to the fire and just like ask questions or like make comments. It's just not okay.
What do you think would have happened if you would have like told them to stop?
Oh, instant backlash.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I was just curious because like I've sat in groups as well, not with the same group, but other groups, and like they've been talking about people, and I just kind of sit there. I don't really say anything because I feel awkward, but I've been guilty of that too.
I know it's hard because you don't want to be the bystander.
Yeah.
It's hard to be the bystander.
Yeah.
It's the right thing to do, but who wants to be a bystander in a group of 10 girls?
No.
Or 10 people.
It's hard. But I mean, now I'm at a point where I will be, but before I wasn't.
Mm-hmm. And it's not just women either. It's definitely guys too, because there's another story that I have about a time at Shiny Top. Shout out to Shiny Top for always being in
Really?
our stories, because you have one too.
Promoting you guys. No,
Right?
yeah, no, we love Shiny Top, but like it just always seems to kind of go back to that.
I know. A lot of get-togethers at Shiny Top.
They're a lot.
And
It's
I
a pop bar.
haven't been there for a while. Well, I guess
Well,
when I
with-
crashed your dinner
It's fine.
the other night. So
Yeah, she crashed our dinner, guys. We hang out. We're friends. We hang out.
So I'm pregnant at the time.
Okay.
There's cops and the wives, and we are doing like, we had some event and we go to Shiny Top.
Okay.
I'm pregnant. I'm not drinking. I'm sober. Hauling everyone around, which glad to do that.
Yeah.
There were 3 men at the bar, and we got a table behind them. So my ex-husband, my husband at the time, goes up to one of them because we graduated here. We knew the guys. He goes up to him and like puts his arm around one of the guys, like they're talking about a different like mutual friend, whatever. And then a cop's wife goes over and stands next to my husband at the time, and then she's also talking to the guys because she had a connection with one of the guys too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just now realizing that there's a lot to this story, so hang with me, bear with me.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of reading body language because I'm sober, right? Like that's the cool thing about not drinking is that you have a lot, like you're so in tune of what's happening around you. Whereas if you've had a couple drinks or even like you're borderline about to like be drunk or you are drunk, you lose all like
You're impaired.
Yeah.
Your sense of judgment.
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
no judgment at all. Like,
Yeah.
and then anyway. So I'm reading body language. This cop is not impressed that his wife just walked over to the bar and is talking to these guys, right?
Uh-huh.
He's pissed. And I'm like, yeah, so I'm just watching it all go down. This cop is really pissed that his wife went over there and talked to the guys. And then he starts like talking through his teeth. He's so mad. He's like, so-and-so, get over here. Right. And I'm like, oh shit, he's pissed. And she's just like, oh yeah, blah, 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 you know. And he is like saying it again, get over here, through his teeth. I'm actually scared for her. Like, homegirl better get back to her husband before shit goes down, right? And so she comes back over to him and she's like, what? It was so fun. Like, what? I know him. Like, he played for blah, 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 blah. And he's like, I don't care. Do you know who that is? So she's getting lectured. And I'm like, my husband's over there. I don't care. Like, you know, whatever. And so then one of the guys, and we went to high school with these guys. Like, I knew who they were. Great guys, whatever. He turns around and he said something to one of the cops that we were with. And he goes, he asked him about like a sport or something, like doing sports. So this is a separate cop, the one that's not mad.
Okay.
He's talking back to him, just talking, having conversation.
Yeah.
Well, his wife jumps in because she's drunk and she goes, what? You have a problem with him? Did you ever do college sports?
Oh.
And and then he's like, what? No, like, he goes, well, I did sports. Like, I don't know. They're talking about sports. Well, husband's a 4-time state champ. And he said, this college, if I say the college, people are going to know who it is if they were there.
Yeah.
And so then he goes, God, I can't remember, like, now, I mean, it was so long ago. I don't remember, like, the specifics. But all of a sudden I get nervous because now people are, like, yelling, right? Like, this wife is, like, screaming at this dude.
And this is, like, who's representing the police department.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
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 And so she's screaming and she goes, what, do you have a problem? And he was like, no, I don't have any problem. I'm just talking to your husband. And then she says, yo mama. And he goes, my mom's dead. She goes, so your mama, like, just again, like, so immature, like, okay.
Like,
to this random
18?
guy. Right. And he goes, no, my mom's dead actually. And then
low blow.
Yeah. So then she's like, God, she just starts running her mouth. All of a sudden, people are standing up. Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm pretty sure at this point, I don't know I now, like, again, it was so long ago. Something was said where people start standing up. The guys at the bar stand up. This wife is standing up. Her husband's like making her stand back. She gets pissed. She's about to fight, like about to.
Over sports.
Over, I think, just like you're kind of thing. But like they're not. I don't know. So
like,
I think.
Control yourself.
I honestly think it was like a. Honestly.
I'm not, that doesn't surprise me though.
No.
At all.
Who it was.
Of who it was. No. Doesn't surprise me.
So yeah, we're all like, holy shit. Our whole table stands up. The whole bar stands up. The owner of Shiny Top comes out. He might remember this. I don't know.
Yeah.
And he's like, you guys got to go. I can't remember who he said it to. I think it was our table because she was the instigator. But these two guys at the bar were like, no, we're good. We'll leave. I'm pregnant. I'm emotional. I get fucking pissed, right? Like, I get so pissed.
With a good reason.
Oh, yeah. I followed them out of the bar.
Yeah, I would be apologizing.
Yeah, I left the, and I did. Yeah. I left the group who I was with, the cops and the wives and my husband at the time. I left the group. I'm like, what is happening? Because I've known these guys since high school. Not like I was close with them at the time, and I'm not close with them. But like, I just witnessed something that went down, and it was not okay. I run out there, and I'm like, you guys, I'm bawling, right? I'm crying. Why do you guys have to leave? You guys don't have to leave. She's the one who started in. Like, she's the one who started shit. Like, you guys were just having a good time at the bar. And then one of the guys didn't like that his wife was over there. And then this other girl, she has her own problems, is starting in with you too. I was crying. I was like, don't leave. You guys don't need to leave. Like, I knew at that moment, I felt like it was, and I'm like, oh my God. And they're like, no, you're good. They're comforting me. These guys were.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, no, you guys don't understand. Like, this is not okay. I'm ashamed. Like, I'm so embarrassed. How embarrassing is it that I'm sitting with them right now after how they just treated you?
Absolutely.
After how they just treated you.
And again, these are people representing
police officers.
Police. Yeah, they are police officers. How embarrassing.
Yep.
Because it kind of goes along with the whole Fort Dodge, Webster County thing.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
Yeah. So I storm back in.
Yeah.
I tell my husband at the time, I'm like, we're leaving.
Yeah.
He's like, absolutely, let's go. We get home. I get a text from this chick who started in with the guys, right?
Yeah.
She's like, why'd you guys leave? Why'd you leave? It was just getting fun. I was just getting started. That was fun. That was fun. Oh,
That's embarrassing.
I go, you think this was fun? You have problems.
That literally almost makes me cry.
Yeah. I go, you think this was fun? That you have problems.
Yeah. And like, I'm assuming this person will listen to it.
I hope she does.
That's embarrassing for like the good ones too. Like, my husband is a good one. So girl, get out of here.
Literally. It was bad.
I mean, you already have a reputation.
I swear it was a.
I 100% agree.
I hated it.
And I do have to say something, but I'm not saying it on the podcast. So now that I've shared my secret with Emily, because I know all the secrets, you guys. So whatever you think, I probably already know. Okay, I'm totally exaggerating on that, but we cannot go around saying and doing these things without having consequences. We have to be transparent and honest about these things. And that's what we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
You can't treat people like shit and then just get away with it.
Right.
So,
and the crappy part was that like they left. No, like they were like, nope, we're out. And I was thinking, no, this husband should be escorting his crazy wife out of that bar and been like, you overstepped. Like you need, when it's time to be quiet, you need to be quiet.
Okay, so I have a question. Do these people not see an issue with the way their wives are acting or the way they are being portrayed in public and how that affects their reputation?
No, I bet they love it.
It's an embarrassment.
I know.
But that's the thing. It's not only embarrassing to them, but it's embarrassing to everyone.
Just a few bad apples.
Yeah. A few. There's a few. I mean, I've been a little, like, I've been rude, but like, not like that. Like, I get really defensive. So I told you, when I can read energy, I get like shut down.
Yeah.
And I've done that a couple times where I'm like, well, I'm sitting by my husband because, you can't sit by your husband when you're out with a group.
Right.
And I'm like, no, I'm sitting by my husband. Sorry.
And then you would
I would just get like
talked about because you weren't sitting with the
probably,
girls.
Maybe. Yeah. Or like they'd be like, oh, she's in a bad mood. No, I'm not in a bad mood. I truly just see through people's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to be part of conversations where people are shit talking other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I will sit down by my husband and be on my phone or scroll through my phone because I don't want to engage in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've ever said that out loud to anybody but Andrew, but like, that is the reason where, like, in certain situations when I've been hanging out with, cops and stuff and their families, is I will, sit with my phone in front of my face and scroll or talk to my husband because I feel uncomfortable in the situation, not because I'm a bitch.
Right.
Or like, crazy or unstable. It's because I don't like the energy in the room.
Right.
So,
and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
It's really, it's not for me. Like, I don't like the gossipy shit. Like, unless they're sitting at the table, like, or unless like you've already said it to them, which I've said, I will tell people straight to their face how I feel. But like, I won't sit at a table where you guys are like shit talking somebody else, unless it's maybe like about like the shit that happened during the election or something. Right. I mean, that shit like really just kicked me when I was down.
Yeah.
And so that for me, I was like, yeah, I'll sit and talk about this whole thing because they like tried to fuck with me. And I don't know if it was to get to my husband or if it was just to be petty, but either way, like, why would you target somebody and go after them? Like, over something so, like, in the big picture, minuscule. Like, who cares, like, who you vote for or who you hang out with? Like, I don't even fucking know you.
The thing about the election, too, I don't know why everyone was so hard on you for it. You're not the only one who voted for this.
That's the thing. And I don't associate with them. Like, I don't have anything to do with them. But, like, my husband, like, we saved all the proof. Like, I'm not going to be, like, bullied around. I'm not going to be, like, intimidated. And so I don't know, like, do you think I'm an easy target because I'm quiet? Because I've said, too, like, the quietest people in the room, I feel like sometimes they're the ones, like, the strongest.
They're
like
the loudest.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
yeah.
They have, like, more to say.
A lot.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And so I don't know if it was some kind of, like, dig or, like, trying to kind of, like, get me riled up. But, like, again, like how you just told that story of that girl, and I'm not judging when I say this, but like I'm just analyzing it. She sounds insecure and she sounds like attention seeking. Whereas I don't have to seek that attention because I'm secure enough in myself. Like you can fuck with me all you want, but like I'm not going to give into that because that's not, I don't want that in my life. That energy does not belong in my space. That's kind of how I feel.
And it's just like, what's the point? Like,
we're in our 30s.
Yeah, what's the point of having problems?
Like, there's already enough problems in this world. Like, why do we need any more?
I know. You can't just go out and have a few drinks with your friends and your husband and his friends and your friends and just keep to yourself and laugh and have a good time and talk about good times. Why do you have to start problems all the time when you're drinking?
Stuff. Yeah.
And this person, this girl, this woman, grown woman, would start problems almost every single time she drank. And it's like, and it's like, no one even wants to be around you now when you are drinking.
Yeah.
There was a softball game between 3 departments in the town.
Yeah.
Right? Like sheriff's department, police department, fire department. And the same person, again, drinking is always involved. It always goes back to drinking.
Red flag. It should be a wake up call at this point.
Right. Goes back to drinking, Truly or one of those like fruity drinks, a Truly or White Claws were like huge. We always drank White Claws. Black cherry White Claws were my favorite. They were so good.
Tastes like static.
And that's what everyone says, but I loved them. And so a White Claw and, a claw in the Yeti cup or whatever kind of cup.
Yeah.
Put it in, put a straw in. It looks like you're not drinking alcohol, but you are. Yeah. And she was getting really loud. And they were like, we're all sitting there with her, and she starts running her mouth about how her husband doesn't feel supported on this certain department. Like she's so glad that he's moving on, or he wants him to go to the other department, very loudly in front of the chief at the time. And we're all like, we freeze. And I wasn't drinking, but like she definitely was. And maybe a few other people that we were with.
Was this all like just police, like, or was it like community members?
It was there were tons of community members there. Because it was a very public event, and she just was super loud about how her husband, she doesn't feel like her husband's supported. And I'm like, dude, this is not the time or place. And also quit drinking. Because at this point, do you have a problem? Because it almost seems like you do.
Maybe you try rehab.
Something. I don't know. Go sober.
Yeah.
Sober life is the best life, I think.
I feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about healing and not drinking.
It feels better when you're not drinking. You feel more in control of your life. Like, I feel good with my husband going out somewhere and having genuine fun without having to have alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And like being able to come home and like just enjoy each other's company and relax and not be chugging,
So Andrew
beer.
doesn't drink at all.
He drinks a little
Okay,
bit,
yeah.
but like he's not like a buy a case,
Mm-hmm.
come home after work, drink like 5 or 7 to 10, whatever. He does not do that.
And this isn't judging anyone who does drink at all. This isn't judging, it's not even judging anybody ever who drink. I mean,
no, because we've all been there. I feel, well, not everybody, but like we've all been in certain situations like that.
Right.
We've all been that. But like healing, like we're talking about healing. Like it feels so good to heal and be present in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
I know.
I'm happy for us. Like
me too.
I have to say this. Like 5 years ago, or 4 or 5 years ago, say that, I would never have thought we would be sitting on your couch, like ever talking.
I know.
Like it's so funny how things work out.
I know, it really is.
And I kind of feel like this like sense of like purpose. I feel like we are helping other people feel better too.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I just think there's like a stigma around like having a big group of friends and like drinking and like that's like the life. But I think the life is actually the opposite. Having a small circle and like doing things sober.
Yeah, and making healthy choices and
actually enjoying it. Without having to look at pictures to remember something or whatever.
And picking fights and then you remember, oh, she got mad last night or I did something stupid last night. Like, how was that even fun?
It wasn't.
No.
Like I look back on things like, so there was a time where I went over to the cop corner and
good old cop corner.
Back at the cop corner. And I was not on the corner. I should clarify. I was not working the corner.
There's
I was
4 houses.
I was on the corner.
Yep.
And this person invited me over and her husband had texted me like, what do you want on your sandwich? What do you want for your sandwich? And she was like, why are you texting my husband? And I'm like,
was she drinking?
Yes.
Again, it always goes back to drinking.
And when I got there, it was not like just one. It was like multiple. And I'm like, oh. And I had just had my child not long before. And I was drinking, but like not drinking. And she was like, you're trying to seduce my husband. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I was like, no. Like, my husband's working. You guys invited me over for dinner.
Right.
Like, not in a bad way, but like, I'm not like, don't accuse me of doing that. Like, I feel like people accuse people of doing things that they're guilty of.
Right.
So I'm like, what is your problem?
Right.
Like, that's not, and I'm not even trying to be like rude when I say that. It's just like, why? And so I texted my husband and I was like, weird vibe.
Right.
And that was kind of my first like red flag with that person.
Right.
And then I got accused of all this other stuff and I'm like, no.
Right.
I'm just trying to go home with my husband.
Right.
Like, I'm good with my husband. We're good.
Right.
Like, it's sad though, because all of it ties back to alcohol.
Yeah. It's always
about
the alcohol. Before my ex-husband and I would go to a friend's house, we had to stop at the gas station, get our alcohol. What do you want? What do you want to drink? And I felt like, okay, well, if they're drinking, I don't want to be the only one who's not drinking, and I want to fit in with everyone, so I'm going to get Gimme Claws.
Did you feel pressured?
No one ever like pressured me, which was kind of cool. But like, if you didn't drink, definitely get questioned.
Oh, 100%.
So there were times where a mutual friend was pregnant at the time and she felt like she probably like she had to hide it because, I mean, it was abnormal for her not to drink. So she like put it in a cup and it was like water.
Yeah. We had to ask who it was. I was like, which person? Sorry.
We just did a little bit of sign language to figure out.
Here, so
exactly.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. So no pressure, but also like, I mean, I think people would definitely be like, "Oh, why aren't you drinking?" Like,
is there like some shame associated with that too?
I would say.
I think so too.
Like,
because
you're not.
I've gotten questioned too by like, and so like every time like we were over at their house, they'd be like, "Oh, why aren't you drinking?" And I'm like, "I'm not pregnant." Like, and number one too, like that kind of spins off, like goes off on like a side path to a conversation. Like, don't ask people if they're pregnant because like not everybody can have like a pregnancy that goes, through. And Andrew and I actually had a miscarriage, and that's something I've never talked about. People don't know. And so like for me, like that was like hurtful to be asked that almost. And then when we were at the party, I got the non-alcoholic drinks or whatever, and I brought them. and everybody was like kind of looking at me like, are you drinking? Because I was like drinking them fast. It was just like lemon. It tasted like lemon.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure they were thinking I was so drunk, but it was
non-alcoholic. So,
Right.
but it was almost like, why are you not drinking?
So weird.
I don't like that.
Honestly, worry about yourself.
But
If
they get so loud.
Mhm.
I had to say that. Sorry.
What do you mean?
Oh, because I interrupted you. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Well, what do you mean they got so loud?
Like at the party, like they were like hitting tables and like playing poker or whatever.
Right.
Or, I don't know what they were doing.
Right.
But like, I'm like, you guys are so loud.
It reminds me of we went to like some sort of birthday party for someone in law enforcement's like sister. I don't know. So there were like people in law enforcement there at the party, and I actually tried going sober for a little bit before I had kids because I was like, okay, I'm drinking a lot. This is not me, you know, before I had my son. And I didn't drink, and we were trying, but I wasn't pregnant. And so I just was chilling, hanging out. But again, like I got questioned. Oh, are you pregnant? Oh, you're going to have a baby? Like, no, I just don't want to drink right now. Is that a crime? Honestly.
It feels like almost abnormal to be sober half the time because people think, oh, well, that's weird.
It's unpopular.
Yeah.
But when you're sober, you have to really, especially when you're a single divorced mom, you are forced to sit in a house that's quiet without two tiny kids running around your house.
You get in your thoughts.
Yeah, it's
like,
hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. But then again, it's replacing something that's literally poison in your body to
it's
do
so
healthy
bad
things.
For your body
right.
In all reality. I didn't drink on New Year's Eve, and I worked out first thing New Year's Day, and I felt so good watching everybody on Snapchat. I was like, go get that New Year's Day workout, and I was feeling really good. And instead of being hungover, I really wanted to just better myself. I was in a mindset of focusing on my mind and my health and like my body.
And
like I just want to feel good.
Last episode we talked about Mel Robbins and the Let Them theory. She has an episode that's specifically all about drinking and how it's literal poison going into
I just listened to that
into your
this
body.
Week. Yeah.
And she has doctors on there. She has a doctor, I know for sure one is on there, and they basically say it is horrible for you. It clouds your judgment, first of all, and it's in your system for how many days? I don't even remember how many days they said, but it's very eye-opening.
I feel so inflamed and like gross. Like it. So I don't remember what podcast this is on, so I can't like for certain say. But if you look up the word alcohol, it's related to demonic spirits, and the word spirits, alcohol, like wine and spirits, it's all related to like hell and like demonic possessions taking over you.
Right. I
believe
that.
Sometimes when you're drinking and like you become that alter ego, that can actually be like a demon like entering your body. You guys, I'm not crazy, I swear.
You're very spiritual though.
I am. But I'm very in tune with things. And I look back on like certain situations where I've had like that alter ego type of thing come in and I'm drunk. And it is literally like I go back and I'm like, oh wow. A lot of it is that like the personality that's like complete opposite of me, but it's the most triggering to me when I'm sober. And so it's kind of like that, like taking over your sober personality.
Well, and that's a real thing because people talk about, like I have a family member that always tells me, he always says, I'm a mean drunk. Yeah, you are. Or like some people say that they're a more emotional drunk. Like your personality and your emotions changes as your alcohol. Yeah. As you drink.
Like for me, I'm not aggressive when I'm sober. Well, I can be like bitchy, but like, but you're aggressive, like very. And I also, another thing too, is like when I am sober, like people can tell me things and like, I'll take it to my grave. Like, for example, Jimmy John's.
Okay. Wait, who's Jimmy John's?
Oh. So anyways, so for her, I know a lot of things. I will take it to my grave.
Right.
But if I'm drinking, and I'm not saying that this is not an example, not a real example, but the word vomit just flows. And I'm like,
because you don't care.
I don't care. And I just,
and not just you. I'm the same way. I think a lot of people don't care.
But
it's the girl who picked a fight with those guys at the bar
didn't care.
And that's such a waste of time to be so mean and fake instead of putting in the work to be better.
Girl, I hope you are listening to this, and I hope you can find some piece. Like, I really genuinely mean that. Because, like, at some point we all have to kind of grow up and take responsibility and, like, see the consequences of our actions in order to change and become better people, even if it's hard.
Jimmy John's.
Jimmy John's. I don't really like Jimmy John's anymore. No, I mean, like,
yeah.
actually, but if you take anything from this conversation, take this. This is meant to get people thinking about how their actions affect other people. And the reality is you can't act this way forever with the expectation that
people just to be quiet.
Right. You cannot treat people like shit and then just be like, oh, you know, it's fine. They're just crazy. Actually, I think we're probably the most stable people around.
Yeah. And I think through my divorce, there were a lot of people who talked bad about me and who had a lot to say about me to other people. Like, there were things that came back to me and I was like, what? And like, I talked about Jessie last time on the podcast, and she's like one of my best friends. And she said that she had a conversation with somebody and they were like, oh, what are you going to do? And she's like, oh, I'm going with, who are you going to go with? And she's like, oh, I'm going with Emily. And they're like, oh, I heard this. And Jessie, like, is amazing. And she stood up for me. And she's like, no, Emily's amazing.
That's a real friend.
It is.
Yeah.
And for her to go back and tell me that too. And like, I'd be lying if I said that it didn't bother me that somebody 2.5 years later, or they're talking about something that I went through or that I did or something that happened. But it's just crazy that, like, so many people for a couple years, so many years had a lot to say about me. And now, like, I finally feel confident enough to be like, no, there were a lot of things that are wrong.
Yeah.
That I can talk about. And we're not name dropping, you know?
No. And that brings up a really good point. There's a difference between shit talking and then also really reflecting and speaking the truth. And that's where I feel like we really are able to make a difference and be relatable, because I truly think that this is something a lot of people experience and it's just not talked about enough. So people don't know how to handle it. And that all goes back to the fact that we cannot just act however we want and treat people like shit and then expect people to be okay with it. And at some point you just have to stop. I want to know, so, like, what did you hear about me? Like, what's all the stuff you've heard about me? I want to know, because there's a lot of things that have went back to me.
Really?
About me. And I'm like, I don't even leave my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to
So
know.
I remember specifically being in a living room and full of people in law enforcement, and somehow your name got brought up. And
weird.
Yeah. And something where somebody worked at the hospital and they heard that you and Andrew are swingers.
That's like the fifth person that's told me that, and we're not. We don't even leave our house.
The problem with that is that this was spoken so openly with a living room full of people. I'm talking, like, I don't even remember how many people were in the room. But that's the dangerous thing. If you don't know for sure, why are you spreading that?
But, like, why?
And why is it even their business? Like, why isn't it anyone's business?
We are not swingers. We have never been swingers.
Well, according to a lot of people in this town, you are.
Yeah.
So.
I feel like a lot of people in this town are.
Yeah.
And they just want us to join, and that's not going to happen.
Right. It's just, it was just interesting. And I should have known then to be like, first of all, do you know that this is true? Mm-hmm. And second of all, can we not say this out loud in front of so many people?
Like, what was said with it? Like, that's just it?
I think there was, like, a story behind it. Yeah, I don't even remember specifics, but it happened kind of like that conversation happened, like.
I see, and I want to, like, how did it even come up? Because, like, what's the story? Because the other rumor was that I was controlling, so that's kind of like the opposite of sharing your husband, which both are false.
And, like, I don't know. And then you think about it and you're like, that's really crappy for somebody to say out loud.
Yeah, because somebody else asked me that too. Actually, the person that was texting you asked me that as well. And I was like, what? It's just a really below the belt hit to dig at somebody's marriage or relationship with knowing absolutely nothing about them. And that says more about the person doing the talking rather than the person they're talking about.
The problem with that being spoken in such a large room full of people is that this person was so openly able to talk so comfortably in her own living room in her own house about it, but, like, never once reached out to you and said, hey, I heard this. Like,
she's never spoken to me ever.
That's what I'm saying, is that keep your circle small, because when you have a large circle and you're hanging out with a lot of people, you cannot trust anybody.
Absolutely.
Because
that story is wild though, because it's so funny to hear that and then look at how private Andrews in my life is and how
Mhm.
private our relationship is.
Yeah.
And that is like never something we would do. So, because
Mhm.
to be honest, I'm really glad I'm clearing the air on this, because to the person whose living room it was, take a seat and think about the impact of your words and how that can affect other people's lives. It's never okay to treat somebody like that. And if you're doing it on purpose, I really hope that you stop. It came back to my work, my job,
Mm.
and somehow got to my boss. And my boss had asked me if it was if it like, not just that rumor, but there was a couple rumors. And it really, really hit me really hard, because I was asked if I was willing to drug test,
Mm.
and that apparently had came from and I've never done like that kind of stuff. Like there's a couple things, like just like minor things, but like I'm not
Right.
I will, pee in a cup any day, whatever.
Right.
Like I am trying to like live a healthy life, but like that there's a couple rumors that got back. Again, the rumor that I was no, that was another rumor.
Right.
I'm fine with talking about it because none of it's true.
Right.
But it's really interesting, like, and I'm not speaking like to anybody like specifically, but like when you say things like that that can damage or affect people's relationships or their professional life or personal life or whatever, like that is like probably the most like hurtful thing you can do to somebody. And because like I'm trying to do a lot of things with my professional career, and my marriage is really like, Andrew and I keep our marriage very tight, and we have a lot of like it's not controlling, because that was another thing we talked about last time.
Yeah.
It's not controlling, it's a respect thing. So like for us, like we communicate about everything because we want to respect each other. And like I'm trying to make strides in my professional career, so things like that have almost not damaged it, but like affected it to where I have to clear my name.
Right.
And I'm not even from here.
Right.
And those people that, you were talking about, they have nothing to do with my life.
Right.
So like, why are you sitting around talking about me?
Right. I know. Like your words actually do matter, and they hurt people.
Yeah.
So I just wish that everybody, hopefully they'll take this. People will take this. I have more work to do as well, too. But just knowing that your words hurt and that they matter and that they actually can ruin somebody's life.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know other people who've been hurt by rumors in this town, and they've actually had to clear their names, and they've had to do it through their employer because they were on the verge of losing their jobs over rumors of drug use and things like that. That stuff can really fuck up somebody's life.
Right.
A lot. And that brings me to another point. Why are we so focused on what other people are doing? And we get so fixated on the rumors and the gossip that we forget that people have feelings, and we are doing nothing but causing problems for other people rather than helping them solve them. It doesn't make any sense to me because it's the opposite of genuine, right? I don't know. I'm processing this right now out loud, so it's kind of funny to think about. It really just exposes how fake people are, honestly. Why is that? Why people don't talk to us?
I don't know.
Because of all of these,
probably
made up rumors.
Well, I lost a lot of quote unquote friends through my divorce. We know that.
Yeah.
That's just like the change that happened in my life. The big change was just like, okay, you're divorcing this person who we're friends with. We're staying loyal to him, But the cool thing is that there's actually been a few people who like have no problem talking to me or reaching out to me.
I love that.
There are a few.
Yeah.
Very small, very few, but there are, and that's the cool thing is like I appreciate them because I'm like, okay, you're not taking a side.
Yeah.
And one person, I ran into them at Menards. They were a mutual friend, but obviously I met them through him.
Okay.
And she gave me a hug and she's like, are you good? Like, we don't hate you. Like, my husband and I talked and like, you did nothing wrong to us. Like, you never once did anything to us. Like, you've always been good to our kids.
That probably means a lot.
We loved you. We love you. Like, we're always here. He actually fixed my door one day. And so I don't know. I don't know. But I don't know. I think right now I just choose to keep my circle very small. I don't care who comes into it. Like, I don't reach out anymore. And I think that's me maybe maturing too, is like, okay, but I learned very quickly and the hard way that these people who I thought were my best friends were not. And so now I don't let people in my life if I don't want them in it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I'm not going to apologize for not letting something into my life.
It's so just all of these things, because it's like, what good does it do spreading gossip like that about somebody else? Like, why? And like with them being mean to you, like, what good does that do?
Right. Because it can't feel good to do that.
And if it does, like, you got a lot of work to do
and problems, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel good for making this other person feel like crap. Like the Snapchat video.
Yeah, that's messed up. Beyond
like
messed up.
What even, like, what?
And that was the same person that got loud.
Yeah. At the bar with those guys. Yeah. She's the one that sent me that Snapchat video. And it's, if you send it out, like, you're doing it to hurt somebody intentionally. And that is so weird to me. It's a weird vibe energy.
She's also the one that my husband told me she winked at him at the one time. And he was like, ew.
Can we not?
Yeah, he was like, no thanks. No, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm like, but like, why? Like, so then you sit and shit talk me, and then you go and like try to flirt with my husband, but you're married.
Right.
Girl.
Right.
Grow. We blossom. You're a flower.
Right.
I actually saw a quote the other day and I downloaded it. And it said that we are like a flower. And if a flower goes bad, are you going to chuck it? I don't know, I'm probably not going to get this right. Are you going to like chuck it, or are you going to check the soil? Are you going to check the environment? Like, check yourself. Yeah. Check who you're surrounding yourself with, like what you're doing in your environment, and change that and learn to grow through that, rather than just like continuing like down like a toxic.
But it's hard when you're in it and you're around these toxic people.
Yeah.
Because you think that they're your friend group, but they're encouraging, or they're letting you do really bad things to people.
Yeah.
And spreading rumors and spreading lies
But I've never understood that. Like,
and gossip.
I know. I used to want a really big circle. And like now, like looking at it, I'm just like, why? Like, what good would that have done?
Right.
Because I started to fall into that trap when I was hanging out with Cece. And so
good old CC.
Yeah. And now, so it's all empty.
She gone.
Adios.
She is gone.
But like, seriously, like, what good does being mean to somebody else, what comes out of that? Like, looking back when we were in that situation ourselves, because like I said, I almost fell into it too. Like,
but I can honestly say I didn't purposely do things intentionally to make somebody upset and to make them feel bad.
You showed your true colors talking about it when you ran out apologizing, and like you saw what was wrong in that moment at Shiny Top.
Oh yeah, I was bawling.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys.
Nobody else was.
No, they all stayed in there. And then that's why I got so much heat later for it. Why'd you leave so early? We were just having fun. Again, you didn't realize what you just did was wrong.
So are they truly like, then they don't care?
No, and they're not even good people, because at the end of the day, how can you treat somebody else like that? No. And you didn't even know who they were, and you were talking like that to them? Not okay.
That makes me nauseous. Like, I try so hard to be so nice to everybody. And I talked to my husband about this, is when I was working in with a different population, you know, those people treated me nicer than some of the people that I ran around with at the time. And that kind of goes back to that family thing that we talked about earlier, and the fact that it feels very fake when this is how things are behind the scenes. And when I think about it, you know, we could all be close and be genuine and be able to have that dynamic that we are portraying to everyone else and actually have it be genuine, but it just doesn't feel right, I guess. It's not there, and it's sad. It makes me sad.
I know.
And because when I worked before when I worked for somebody else, and I had like my best friend was killed in the line of duty in Des Moines. That was blue family. Let me tell you that.
But the interesting, though, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the interesting thing is that we've lost people close to home too. And that people have we've all rallied together. Yeah. I mean, it was pre-marriage for me, so I wasn't really a part of anything. And any of that really, but like we've lost people here too. And it's still so catty.
Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because I wasn't in it all the way down there, but the amount of support and the amount of like love that I felt even just being associated with them was tremendous, like millions times more than what I've ever felt here.
Right. Last episode you asked me if I thought that it was cliquey here in Fort Dodge. And I've listened to our episode a couple times and I'm like, oh my gosh, I never even addressed it. I just went on to something completely different.
It's fine.
Like I was like, oh no, I went to college and then I traveled.
I loved that, by the way.
Basically, I wanted out of this town.
Yeah.
Because of the clickiness. But I also went to high school here and it looks different. The town looks different now, I think. Just
now
that we're older, you know.
Okay, yeah.
Like I didn't even know Andrew and I guess we went to high school together.
Yeah.
You know? And so now it's like you meet people through your job or, you know, through your kids, and it looks different now. I think there are a lot of people who aren't born and raised here.
Right.
Who live here now.
I've been told I can't have an opinion about this town because I'm not from here.
Really?
Yeah. I've got
that is a lie.
At.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. From people who are not even from here.
Really?
So I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know what you're doing.
It's funny because a lot of the mean girl drama are girls who aren't born and raised here. I'm like, can you just go back to your town? That'd be great.
Yeah, that's like Illinois.
Yeah. Illinois. Different parts of Iowa. But seriously though, our mutual friend is born and raised here.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We love her. So
love you. You know who you are.
Who you are.
Yeah, I don't know.
And we're proud of you.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, very proud.
She got dropped too.
Yeah. Good, because now you're better off.
Absolutely.
You know. Yeah. It's just it's a weird dynamic, like to like look at it.
And yes, I know I bring this up a lot. However, if we don't normalize these conversations, we will never find a solution. And I just wonder why.
And maybe some of you who have been part of this problem or discussed can answer that someday.
The behavior.
Engaging in the behavior. Can reflect on that. And maybe someday you can give an answer as to why you have felt the need to tear other people down. Because I just can't figure it out.
I know.
But moving on to something more positive.
Positive.
Okay,
we are grandmas and it's 9:00 at night. So make it quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I'm tired. I was up at 3 a.m. this morning.
That's what you said.
Witching hour.
Can we not?
Witching hour or just not get up at 3?
Not get up at 3.
I was like wide awake. I'm doing a parasite cleanse. I'm not going to talk about that on here. It's gross. By the way, you guys all have worms inside your stomach.
Oh, God, so. Can we not?
As I just ate buffalo sprouts.
Brussels
sprouts. But they're called buffalo. They're called buffalo. They have buffalo sauce on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts plus the buffalo sauce, please. They stunk on my car.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Just then you dropped them off at the house and
it's fine.
My daughter was like, what is that?
It's fine. You basically owe me a deep clean in my car.
I can do that.
I'm kidding. I'll do it.
I love cleaning.
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Where do you see yourself a year from now?
1 year from now. April 2nd, 2026. We're so weird. So my son will be 6 because he's 5.5 right now.
Oh,
you ask him how old he is?
Yeah.
Not just 5.5. He'll be 6. My daughter will be 5. Oh, that makes me so sad. But
it's
happy.
Like at 5 years old, it's like
I cannot believe
they're not babies anymore.
And I feel like the beginning of her life was such a blur because of how unhappy I was.
Yeah.
That's depressing.
Yeah.
1 year from now, still in the same job. I love my job.
You're really good at your job too.
Oh, you're nice.
I love that.
I'm really blessed because it's a pretty fun job.
Yeah. Yeah.
So stay in that position, teaching special education, preschool and kindergartners, mostly preschool. I don't know. I want to say when I think of like my life, I want to like envision it with somebody else, but I'm just learning how to be single right now, you know?
Yeah.
And learning how to be content with myself.
When you said earlier, oh, this is going to be a hard one. When you said earlier you have work to do, what did you mean by that?
It means I need to find myself again.
Yeah.
Which I'm getting there.
Yeah. You're glowing.
Oh.
Like, I'm going to just say this quick. You, when I first met you at Shiny Top, which I really don't remember, but I remember seeing you at different times at Shiny Top, so
yeah.
I always goes back to Shiny Top.
I know. Shout out
Seeing
Shiny
you
Top
then,
again.
yes. Seeing you then versus now, glowing.
Aww.
Like,
I'm happy.
you dumped all the negative people.
Yes.
You dumped them.
That's exactly it, I think.
Yeah.
And the drinking, which
Yeah.
negative people plus drinking, it just wasn't,
disaster.
I was so heavy.
Yeah.
Hated my body. I was so low I had such low self-esteem, confidence. I didn't have any confidence. Now, like, no alcohol. I don't eat that healthier-ish. I mean, I do, but I mostly just work out a lot. But I don't know. I think I just really need to find myself right now.
Yeah.
And and we talked about last time how like these situationships are literally going to kill me. Like, I need to stop entertaining anybody who I don't see a future with.
That was what we were going to finish talking about. Was that other story, the other part of that story.
Before the podcast? Or before we started recording?
No. Were we not going to talk about that?
Pause. Play. Okay. Now that we cleared that up, I guess this is talking about Emily's dating life.
Yes.
Great. Love that for me. Not. Last episode, we talked about Funeral Boy.
Crying Funeral Boy.
Who I rubbed his back.
Oh, back rubs.
Homeboy broke my heart, and we only hung out twice. Isn't that crazy?
That's really sad.
But we had all these plans, right? It's like envisioning a future with somebody and then it doesn't happen.
Is that our toxic trait?
It's my toxic trait.
It used to be mine.
Yeah.
Now I just,
live the old, boring married life.
Boring.
Imagine starting over, because it's not fun.
I would not.
10 out of 10 don't recommend starting over.
No,
dating in your 30s, don't do it. But also, what do I do? Start over or stay in the
Tinder for laundry? Says side income, side hustle.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Laundry for Tinder. So Funeral Boy, homeboy broke my heart. So embarrassing.
Shame on you.
But again, it was just like he love bombed the crap out of me. Like,
is that like a manipulation thing?
I think so. He probably didn't want to lose me. Then I'm assuming this is proof, I think. He just like instant change, like change of energy, flip the switch basically like overnight.
Yeah.
So he's like drinking on the weekend back where he's from, an hour away. And I'm like, hey, you're doing it again. He's like, yep. Like, talk to me on Monday, like the following weekend. And he's like, or that weekend after the weekend. And he's like, yeah, I just like, I don't know. And I'm like, okay, first of all, like, I don't drink. I'm sober. Don't care if like my future partner drinks, but there has to be like some boundary.
A limit.
Yeah, because that's crazy.
Yeah.
Going out all night, every night, like
I would not want to do that anymore. I'm good staying home, doing my own thing. Yeah.
Homeboy is 4 years older than us, 3 years older than me. He's 36 and he's still doing that.
Ugh.
So I'm like, okay, like a fast switch, flip the switch really fast.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. I was like, my birthday rolls around like a couple weeks later. He wishes me happy birthday. It's super short. I'm like, thanks. I'm super short with him. He deletes me on Snap. And I'm like, weird flex.
Yeah.
It's my birthday and you're deleting me? Okay. Which I knew at that point we were done anyway. And then
is that kind of like a birthday gift to you? Like, he pieced out himself because he knew he wasn't good enough?
Well, he found somebody else. Because now he's in a relationship.
Oh,
and how depressing is that? I went to my coworkers. I have 2 really close friends that I work with at the school. And I walk into their room and to my friend's classroom and I'm like, I knew it. I freaking knew it. And I pull up his Facebook and they're like, we saw today. We were going to come find you later on. Yeah. They were like, homeboy is a wreck. But then it also made me like thankful. I always think about this too. Like, it's a blessing in disguise. It hurts now in the moment. I'm over it now, whatever. But like, he wasn't my person. And I think, I know that it just wasn't meant to be.
Funny you say that, because the guy I talked about who was my friend who got married, and I was like, we never really dated, but like we were kind of a thing, but like not really a thing.
Yeah, it's hard.
I saw him on my Facebook. He's now divorced because he cheated on his wife with like a whole bunch of women and was like living a double life. And I'm like, what is my toxic trait
Wow.
that I'm drawn to people like that? I'm not saying, well, hold on. Scratch that.
Yeah, you better clear the air right now because
Andrew does
people
not
are going
live
to
a
take
double
this.
life.
I was going to say people are going to take this and twist it.
Oh yeah. No, they'll be like, oh, Andrew's single. Lindsay says she's getting divorced. No, that's not what I said. No, I meant my ex-husband, my ex-husband. I'm clarifying.
Yeah.
Clarified like on the X part. X. One more time.
Right. Emphasis on the X.
But it's like, yes, emphasis. I was like, oh, I don't know what I was thinking the word in my head, but I'm like, why?
I know.
But I don't understand. Like, yeah, he was just a whole hot mess, though. Should have been a red flag when I caught him with my best friend in the locker room.
Jesus. In high school?
No, like in college.
Jesus.
Yeah. He said he was applying sunscreen.
People are weird.
Like, okay.
You're like done.
Yeah. Like, okay. No thanks.
Weird.
No thanks. It's just weird.
Weird.
I'm content with how our lives are.
Mm-hmm.
And how I ended the podcast, the first one, I actually like listened to it back like 4 or 5 times and I was like, I sound kind of bitchy, but like, I'm just simply saying like, come on, you guys, like, shame on you.
Right.
And like truly, and I'm just saying like for me, like I moved here hoping for like this big giant blue family where we all sang Kumbaya, whatever. Okay.
Jokes on you.
Jokes on me. I'm happy I don't have that because I would not want to be part of something like that where it's so fake. And in reality, jokes on you guys because we found the happiness that like we didn't even know that we needed. I'm so content wearing my slippers, wearing my sweater, my house sweater, and like lighting my candles.
And
like
taking care of your kids, right?
Yeah.
Like
being there for that is like the most part. Being there sober feels so good.
Right.
Because I'm able to be there for them in those moments and be 100% present.
Right.
And not feel like I'm having to like go take a nap or like I'd have to like go like, you know, get another beer or whatever.
Oh, like there was the same living room that all the shit was being talked, like the shit talking was happening in. The first time I was in that living room, their at the time was like 4 or 5. Emily, you want a beer? And I'm like, what? Like
4?
Looking back at it, like, haha, that's funny. But then now looking back at it, I'm like, if I ever asked one of my guests, like, which I never have anybody really over, but like, hey, so-and-so, you want a beer? Like, no, that's not normal behavior. Like, no, it's not normal. And part of me is wondering if it's like, in a way, like, like childhood trauma, like always seeing your parents having parties and drinking. It has to be.
I actually have a friend who talked to me about that, and I don't know if she'll ever come on. But she saw her parents were higher up in a position, like a community position, and they would always have parties like that. And she was the one that carried the beer around and passed it out. And she does not drink now. She's like traumatized from it. And
I was just, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and like she just said like the same thing. Like they would sit around, get drunk, gossip. And she said it was just like looking back on it. She's like, I'm so traumatized.
Right.
Because that's all it was.
Right. And I'm all for adult time.
Yeah.
But like not in front of your kids, man. Like go do something else.
And those kids are probably hearing things.
Oh, yeah.
And you know.
Oh, yeah. I just ran into a group of kids walking home from school in the neighborhood that I used to live in. And I was like, I rolled down my window and one of them pushed another kid. I talked to our mutual friend about this. I called her up and I was like, dude, like this kid just shoved the crap out of your kid. And she was like, who is it? Like, oh. You know, and I'm like, no, like I handled it. Like they told me they were joking around, but I said, do I need to go around the corner and talk to your mom and dad? Because this is not okay. And they're like, no, we were just joking around. Elementary kids. My gosh. And I was like, do you even remember who I am? And they're like, yeah, you're so-and-so's ex-wife. And I was like, yeah, like I literally like, so then I'm like, what are they hearing?
Absolutely.
You know, which kids, they shouldn't hear anything, but so that's weird.
Yeah.
Like your kids shouldn't know.
And I'm sure those kids are seeing like yelling and screaming and drunk.
Oh, drinking. Too. Yep, working in their garage on boats with a beer in their hand all the time.
That is not a way to conduct yourself, boy.
Probably the wife inside yelling at him, which would
Yeah.
happen a lot. Probably still does.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Come take care of these.
That person, he's always on his phone. I'm like,
yeah.
you should not be on your phone and driving, sir. That is a safety hazard.
Right? Hey, it's cops not thinking they have to follow the law.
I mean, true. Well, there's a new rule now. We're not supposed to be on our phones while we're driving, right?
I don't know.
Is that a new rule? Oh, okay. Maybe I'm just delusional.
Let's Google
I
it.
think I saw something on Facebook from Governor Reynolds about something, but okay, maybe not.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. That's just. It's time to put away the yearbook, you guys. It's time to grow up. What does my husband say? He's like, close the yearbook.
Does he say that?
Yeah, he does.
That's funny.
He gets like, oh, don't do that.
Mhm.
Oh. Like, oh my God.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's just not worth it to be. It's not. And I'm so happy. Like,
Me too.
I'm just very content. I think I said that on the end of the podcast. I have to go back and listen. And like, I hope you guys find the peace that Emily and I have, the happiness that we've found.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does. Like, once you're in it, it feels so good.
Yeah, no fake friends.
No. I mean, we're just sitting here without makeup. I have hair stains all over my freaking face because I colored my hair and broke my hair dryer. It's fine.
Right.
But like, I never would have, like, I always would have cared what I thought, you know, what people would think about me before. And I'm just like, no, it's fine.
I know. It's so easy to.
Yeah. You get caught up in that though.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have to keep up this impression that's not real.
But people are going to talk either way.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
let them.
You guys, let's just let them. Just let them.
I think we got to go because we're falling asleep.
I'm really tired. I took my Lemmy gummies.
What is that?
Kourtney Kardashian's Lemmy Chill gummies.
Stop.
And I just drank magnesium.
So what, you're tired?
I'm really tired. I am not drinking, you guys. I'm not drinking any alcohol. Like, I'm just really tired.
Right.
But I feel so relaxed and
Yeah.
I feel so healthy.
Yeah.
And if you take magnesium, well, I drink it every day. I don't get tired during the day now, but I get super tired at night. But I've also been up since 3 a.m. So, and I went to bed at 11. So, because I was like, you know, why not stay up and watch The Rookie?
What's
Another
Rookie?
cop show.
Oh, is it?
It is. It is a cop show.
That's funny.
And they don't have any mean cop drama. So, I mean,
It just must be a Dirty Dodge thing.
Dirty
I can
Dodge.
say that because I'm from here.
I've only said that like once, and my mom got mad at me.
Did she?
She did.
Oh, because they're
from here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know some people are weird about it.
I felt bad about it. I do feel bad about it. I don't want to.
Some people are weird about it. Like, I don't think
I wasn't trying to be rude.
No, yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm not much better. I'm from Fort Madison. So.
Right.
I'm a dirty river rat. So.
Is that what they call you guys?
Yeah. River rats.
So I think we'll definitely record another one.
Yes.
Because this is therapy.
We should just do this like
Once
whenever
a
we
week.
have our free time. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like this. This is
Who
like,
needs a
really-
therapist when you have a
true.
friend that you could just talk
It's true.
about stuff with?
Yeah.
For everyone to hear.
I was going to try to make like a little funny like connection with therapy and podcast, but that wasn't working. So
Just go back in and edit it. Add it in.
TheraCast.
There we go.
It's a TheraCast.
It's a thing.
Yeah. I'm not editing that out either. So.
Title of this episode. TheraCast.
TheraCast.
With Em and Linds.
Billy and Helen.
But anyway, so like if you guys want to reach out to Lindsay and tell her what you guys want to hear,
Yeah.
there's lots of stuff.
Q&A.
That we can start. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Can we?
Yes. If you have any questions that you want us to answer,
Yeah.
do it.
Do it anonymously. I can create a poll.
Oh yeah, we're
I don't
really
know how
good
to
at
do
we're
that,
really
but-
good at editing names, and we're really good at about not saying first names.
And we won't call you out on here.
No.
Not by name.
Why you so obsessed with me?
Well, Billy.
Well, Helen, did you see what Billy did the other day?
No, I sure didn't.
All right, peace out.
Peace out, Girl Scout. With a cig hanging out of my mouth.
Oh wait! Before we end the episode, do you watch TikTok?
Yeah.
Have you seen what is her name?
The cigarette lady.
Sue Dillon.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in, people. See you next time. Sue Dillon, peace out.
I feel like this is only appropriate to say because we discuss law enforcement. 10-4, Helen and Billy.
And Sue. Was that not perfect?
And before you make fun of us for talking like this, I hope you guys have a great night.
Or day.
My smoker's cough is acting up.
Same with Sue. It hurts real bad.
Well, I might as well go swing now at the playground because that's the only swinging I do. Bye, you guys. Okay, we are trying to be fun and have fun. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. You guys, that was a really fun episode to record, and it feels really good to speak our truth and have honest conversations about things that may look really good from the outside, but I can promise you that things are not always what they seem. And being able to talk about that and process through that has been really therapeutic for both of us. And looking where we are now versus where we were before, I just think it's really beautiful to see the progress and the growth that we've made individually. And anyone can get to that point, even those so-called mean girls that have caused so much hurt in people's lives. And I truly hope that everyone can get to a spot where the gossip and the rumors do not overpower the positive and the honest conversation. And when I say honest conversation, I mean don't sit in a room full of people and not defend somebody that you claim you're friends with. Don't assume that something is true just because you heard it from somebody else. Instead, go to the source and ask, or keep your mouth shut. And I'm not apologizing for saying that. That is me stating a fact. Unless you know for a fact that something is true, don't talk about it. Because this can damage people's reputations, this can damage their friendships or their relationships, and this can just cause unnecessary tension. And everybody is already struggling enough, so why put any more crap on their shoulders? And really, if you think about it, why would we be cruel to someone who is just going about their day and say they're going through something and they don't talk to you about it, but you invite them out and they arrive, sit down at the table, and little do they know that you and your friends or whoever is sitting at that table just got done shit talking them. Because that happens a lot, and please don't do that. Please just don't judge anyone. It's okay to talk about things like Emily and I are doing. It's okay to analyze people and be able to open up about how we have experienced things and expose like the little lies that people have for some reason decided to spread about myself and Emily. And I just want to say that's not okay. Don't do that. Don't be mean. Don't be judgmental. If you're, thinking something, just keep it to yourself and be quiet. Or ask the person who you're thinking it about. Whatever. But overall, just don't be a mean person. This world is already hard enough. We do not need any more difficulties in our life. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Send us your questions. Please, please, please send us questions. We want questions. See you later.